Here for a special called meeting of the Metro Nashville School Board. We're holding this meeting in accordance with the governor's executive order that allows for electronic meetings. The governor has recently announced that he has extended his order for the next 2 months, so we will continue to meet remotely during this time. And now I will turn this meeting over to our budget chair, Ms. Pupa Walker.
Thank you so much, Ms. Frog. And on behalf of my partner on this committee, Ms. Elrod, we are grateful for all of you for joining us today. This will be hopefully not a lengthy conversation about our budget. We are going to sort of revisit our changed budget after the vote on Metro Council recently. We want to extend a heartfelt thank you to Councilman Mendez and to Mayor Cooper for all of their hard work on trying to get us as much money as possible for the coming school year and all of the challenges that will be in front of us as we return to school. And so I want to go ahead and pass the baton over to Dr. Battle and let them present sort of the budget that they have put together in the face of the final budget that was presented to us by the council. So thank you, Dr. Battle.
If we could, before Dr. Battle starts, if it would be okay, just as a matter of course, for me to do a roll call real quick, to see who we have on the call, if that's fine.
Thank you.
Madam Chair. Dr. Gentry? I don't see Dr. Gentry online. Ms. Elrod?
Present.
Ms. Elrod is present. Ms. Spearing?
Present.
Spearing is present. Ms. Buggs? I think I hear something. There she is. Ms. Buggs is present. Ms. Bush? Don't see Ms. Bush online. Ms. Player Peters?
Present.
Ms. Player Peters is present. Ms. Pupa Walker?
Present.
Ms. Pupa Walker is present. Ms. Frog? Ms. Frog?
Present.
Ms. Frog's present. Madam Chair, there are 6.
Ms. Gentry's here.
Present.
Hey there.
Thank you. I'll mark Dr. Gentry present.
Okay. Is Dr. Battle here, ready to go?
All right. Good afternoon, board members. This has been an unusual budget process, and I hope we won't have to go through another one like this, because that would mean we've gotten to a stable place with COVID-19 and that our economy has largely rebounded. But there's no doubt that we've already ended up with a better budget than we could have expected a couple months ago. As I said at last week's meeting, we greatly appreciate the mayor and Metro Council for prioritizing education during their budget process. And you deserve a lot of credit for advocating for our needs, not only with council members, but also with the community at large. Thank you for all of your hard work and for your leadership on that end. And thanks to the council's budget adjustments, we can now cover the deficit that was created by the 3% cost of living adjustment that took effect in January. And we have additional funding or potential funding for staff raises. Now, I don't want to paint too rosy of a picture. Last month, you approved a budget with $10 million in cuts and savings. This final budget has identified another approximately $5 million in cuts and savings from central office departments to close the budget gap. That's just the financial reality we're facing right now as a result of the pandemic and the resulting recession. But that number could have been much worse. We can now protect school budgets from cuts in the coming year, which is very good news. The council also put $4.9 million in a contingency account so that we can pay all MNPS employees at least $15 an hour. And they created an $8.1 million contingency fund for a step increase for certificated and support staff as long as our fund balance remains above 3%. We're confident we can achieve that percentage thanks to our staff's great work. This isn't the budget I wanted to present to you for the fiscal year that starts tomorrow, but I'm pleased and relieved that we're able to avoid even larger cuts and that we are even able to invest in our people, which was your top priority as a board all along. So with that, I am going to turn it over to Chris Henson, our Chief Operations Officer, to walk you through the budget document.
Thank you, Dr. Battle. And I will just reiterate the summary that Dr. Battle gave as far as what the final budget that the Metro Council approved provided for us. As you remember, the original budget that was presented by the mayor required the school district to come up with approximately $15 million in cuts so that we could continue to provide the mid-year 3% cost of living adjustment to our employees that was given back in January. With the Mendez substitute budget being approved, that reduced our amount that we had to cut since we were able to receive an additional $7.5 million through the Mendez substitute budget. And then, as Dr. Battle indicated, we also received additional funding that was designated for certain uses, approximately $4.9 million to give all of our employees a $15 minimum per hour wage, which would include employees in our nutrition services fund, as well as employees in our federal and programs grant fund. Also, the council approved, as Dr. Battle indicated, approximately $8.1 million for employee step increases with contingencies that our fund balance would meet certain requirements, i.e. a minimum of 3%. So I'm going to walk you through the summary document that you're familiar with and point out the changes that have been made since the last time we were together and since the last time the board approved the budget proposal. The first section is always employee compensation. And that first line, you can see the certificated salary step increase is included. Again, there are contingencies upon meeting certain fund balance requirements, which we feel that we will achieve, and we will be depending upon the Metro Finance Department to certify that the contingency has been met so that we can provide this step increase to our employees. One other change that hasn't been mentioned yet is that the Employee Insurance Trust met last Wednesday and voted to rescind the insurance premium increase that had previously been approved by the Employee Insurance Trust back in January, based upon new data from January through June, looking at expenditure trends within the trust fund itself. And with the healthy fund balance that exists in the insurance trust fund, and with the projection of increasing the fund balance for fiscal year 20, which again ends today, the decision of the Employee Insurance Trust was to vote to rescind that insurance premium increase that was voted on back in January. And I know Dr. Gentry and Ms. Spearing are both insurance trust members and were in attendance and voted at that insurance trust meeting. Therefore, the result is that we no longer have that $3.8 million increase in our operating budget for the 75% of the insurance premium that the district pays. And also, our employees won't see an insurance premium increase in their premiums since employees pay the other 25% of the premium. So we no longer have, you can see the line item, insurance trust, no increase. We still have the change in the state pension plan. There is a slight reduction in the employer contribution rate. This has been the same all along. The next line would be our support step increase, again with the same contingency. So we have funding for a step increase for our certificated staff as well as our support staff. We still have the support insurance increase because their insurance is governed by the Metro Employee Benefit Board, and their support employees benefits are part of Metro general government, and they previously had voted in a 6% increase, and so we still have that $1.7 million in our budget as an increase. There is no increase to the support pension rate. And then we have the $15 per hour minimum wage. And again, this is split out between 3 different funds. Since this affects employees that are funded within those 3 funds, The amount that would be applicable to our general purpose operating budget for the employees that were below $15 per hour is just over $3 million, $3,023,000. And then we also have funding that will be allocated to our nutrition services fund, for our cafeteria staff that were under $15 per hour, as well as our federal programs fund for our particularly our paras that are included, parapros that are included in the federal programs fund that are funded potentially by federal IDEA funding or some of our federally funded pre-K assistance. We also, of course, have the continuation of the fiscal year 20 mid-year 3% COLA that was given back in January and again funded this fiscal year by our own undesignated fund balance of just over $15.1 million. And then our $3 million projected savings for vacancy and turnover. If you'll go down a little further down the page, that's employee compensation. The required additions, I'm not going to go back over since these are basically the same as we've been discussing in the past and the same as the budget that the board previously approved, except for the last line here, the charter school increase. Of course, with any increase in our local revenue, which we did receive, then there is a corresponding increase to the charter school per pupil funding amount. And so our charter school transfer increased from approximately $6,565,000 to a little over $8.5 million when we did the recalculation with the new revenue number, with the new state and local revenue numbers. And so that number is a change, but it's strictly based upon the calculation that's required by state law, total state and local revenue per pupil. Then if you go down further on the bottom of the page, most of this is the same as the board previously approved, and as Dr. Battle mentioned, the board previously approved approximately $10 million in reductions. The new addition here would be that last line, central office and district provided services reductions of a little over $5.1 million. And as Dr. Battle said, we were very determined, even though we had to make significant reductions, that we, if any way possible, that we could hold individual school budgets harmless and not reduce school budgets. And so we asked a lot of our budget owners, department heads, and chiefs as we came up with these $5.157 million in additional reductions. And so we achieved that goal of not having to adjust or reduce school budgets, but we do have reductions throughout our operating budget for those central office and district provided services. This gets us down to a total bottom line number of $933,652,100, which represents a 2.1% increase over the current year budget, and which represents an increase of $19,176,500. If you go to the next page, please. Not going to spend a lot of time on this page, but did want to provide the board with the detail of all of the reductions that make up that $5,157,900, and you can see a lot of them are fairly small amounts where we were looking and combing through every account and line item in our budget that wouldn't affect school budgets. And so you can see the different reduction amounts for the account numbers that are over on the left side, the account name, and then what the total reduction amount would be for that particular account. And then over on the far right, it says line items. And so you can even see by individual line item within that account how much would be coming out. For instance, as we look at, let's look at the Board of Education budget, $4,250 is being reduced from the 0.5 line, which is other expense, $12,700 being reduced from the 0.8 line, which is travel, and $12,000 being reduced from the 0.9 line, which is contracted services. This was all done for this particular account in coordination with Dr. Severe and with the board chair, previous Ms. Shepard, and then also with Ms. Frog. But those kinds of collaborations took place throughout the budget. And so if you can just scroll down, you can see some of these, it only affects one particular line, like a 0.4 line, which again is materials and supplies. Some of these affect several line items throughout each budget. Most of these are not real large numbers in relation to our total budget, and you can see we even go down to some very small numbers. But if you continue to scroll down, you'll see that this particular document totals the $5,157,900 that we had to have a balanced budget. And so we were able to achieve that, and we were still working on the line item budget, the 26-page line item budget document number 9, as every single salary line item will be affected by the step increase, many line items affected by the $15 per hour minimum wage, and then all of the certificated benefit line items affected by the rescinding of the insurance increase for next year. Then lastly, we'll just look briefly at the document number 8, which is the charter school document. You can see that our estimated per pupil rate for next year is $11,016. Again, this is strictly a calculation based upon the Tennessee Department of Education template, which relates to state law requiring the total state and local revenue per pupil amount to be transferred to charter schools based upon their enrollment. And so we're using $11,016 at this point. You can see the estimated number of students for next year, which results in the estimated allocation for each school. And then over on the far right column, again, the asterisk for those schools that continue to add an additional grade moving into next year. And so if you go down to the bottom of that particular document, you can see that the total is we're increasing approximately 433 charter school students from the current year from the amended budget, and then there's the $8,547,400 increase in dollars that we have over on the summary page. We're estimating a total of $146,540,300 will be transferred to the MNPS charter schools for next year. And then below that would be the schools that are either run by the State Board of Education or the Achievement School District, where their funding, their total state and local revenue per pupil is deducted off the top of our BEP funding. And so we never see those dollars. They are distributed directly from the Tennessee Department of Education to the State Board of Education and to the Achievement School District for the charter schools that they operate within Davidson County. So with that, if you could go back to the summary page, please, and be happy to attempt to answer any questions that you have. And if not, turning it back over to either Dr. Battle or Ms. Pupo Walker for additional comments. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's go ahead and get a motion on the table, and then we'll have discussion on the motion.
Thanks. I'd like to move that we approve the budget as presented today by Mr. Henson.
This is Sharon. I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. David, sorry, let's call for discussion. Excuse me.
I have a
Okay, Dr. Gentry.
Hey, Chris, in the on the document 8 with the charter schools and it estimated per pupil rates, how much of that 11,016 are local funds from the district?
Local funding makes up approximately 2/3 of our operating budget revenue. And so approximately 2/3 of that 11,000 would be local funding, which would mainly be property tax revenue and local option sales tax revenue. The other 1/3 would be state funding through the BEP.
Okay. That's my first one. I need to formulate my second one so you can go on to someone else.
Okay. Other questions?
Madam Chair?
Ms. Fearing?
Yeah, this is Jill Spearing. Thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you for the presentation, Chris, and I'm appreciative to the council members for including our 3% cost of living as for employees that was given to them in January of 2020. I'm glad that that will continue. I really appreciate the step raise and the $15 minimum wage for our least paid employees. And as a member of the insurance trust, I appreciate David Hines' leadership on the ability to rescind that increase in insurance premiums. I have several questions. My first one is, I understand that the ASD schools will be coming back to the district. Is that correct? I know it won't happen right away, but is that in process, or is that something that we're planning for the future?
I will defer to Dr. Battle if she has any additional information. I do not have any information on that. I have heard that they would be coming back to the district potentially at some point in the future.
Thank you, Ms. Spearing, for your question. I believe, before I jump in, I think Dr. Griffin is also on the call. Dr. Griffin, you want to give a timeline update first before I determine if additional information should be provided or needs to be provided?
Yes, absolutely. Good afternoon, board members, and thank you for that question. First, I want to say that the Achievement School District, they had a timeline to really share that by August of 2020, but due to COVID and the space that we're in right now, the timeline has been pushed back. They haven't even named publicly a superintendent yet. So to be honest and very transparent, the ASD has not presented an official plan of what schools coming back to the district. That was communicated in February at a meeting, but since then we've received no communication on what that will look like and what the plan will look like. So of course we would love to have our students back, and of course Dr. Battle is preparing us to take those students back if we have to, but we do not have an official plan in place from them.
Thank you, Ms. Griffin. My second question has to do with transportation. It looks like we're cutting $604,000, $580 from the budget for maintenance and repair. Can you talk a little bit about this, because we don't really know what the future holds, and what. If we're going to be using transportation more or less at this point. So how is that calculated? That's over $500,000 in transportation for maintenance and repairs.
Thank you for that question as well, Ms. Spearing. Chris Henson is prepared to respond to that, or someone from his team. Chris? Sure.
Yeah, and this is from a number of transportation accounts. You can see there are actually over four different accounts that are considered here. One of the main reasons for the decrease in the transportation budget is we are really planning on having a full staff of bus drivers for next year, where we do not have to rely on the contracted outsourcing of substitute drivers. And so we have significantly reduced that line, which is 0.5, the other expense, that line for the outsourced or contracted substitute bus drivers. We also have made some minor reductions in parts and materials. We have proposed at this point to keep a bus mechanic position that's vacant, keep that open for now. And so there are a number of things within those 4 or 5 different transportation accounts that are affected. But the main one would be the reduction of the dollars that have been allocated for contracting substitute bus drivers.
Okay, thank you. And will there be any cut in numbers of bus monitors?
No, there's not been any proposal to reduce the number of bus monitors.
Right. And in terms of the literacy budget, it looks like that contracted services has been cut for the literacy budget. Can you give us a sense of what those contracts are, who those contracts are with?
Ms. Spearing, thank you for the question. This is Dr. Williams. I first want to point out that particular budget line was reduced by $300,000 initially because we do not have a contract with TNTP anymore. Those funds that remained, including the projected cut, was to ensure that we have built the capacity of our internal coaches, lead coaches, et cetera, to become facilitators of our implementation process for our new ALA materials. So that contract was intended, or those funds in that line were intended to be used for that purpose.
Okay, thank you. That's all my questions. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? I have a question about Community Achieves. What are those reductions going to entail? I just have concerns that we're going to need more wraparound services for students this year than in previous years.
I will take that call. I don't believe Dr. Springer is on the call, but the reduction in that line item was mainly around supplies and materials and not services to schools or students. Yeah, and there was some travel that was included in there that was reduced from that budget.
Okay, so we're keeping all of the coordinators in place, right?
Yes, ma'am. No reductions with regards to staff in that department.
Thank you. All right, is there any other questions? Any other
Ms.
discussion?
Frog, I have a quick comment.
Go ahead.
I just want to thank all of the department heads across the district who made difficult cuts to their budgets to protect school budgets. And so we know that this has been a tough year, and it'll be a tough year going into the future, but appreciate all that sacrifice. And we won't forget when the budgets come back around, and hopefully when revenue increases. And so just appreciate everybody's leadership on that.
Yeah. Ms. Frog, I have one quick question for Chris, and I missed it, so I apologize. Chris, you referenced funds in a contingency line. Does that differentiate from the reserve, the fund balance? And are there any, not constraints, but yeah, so were there any constraints on how those contingency funds could be used?
The only constraint, thank you for the question. The only constraints would be that the funds would be used to provide a step increase to all employees that qualify for one. The contingency would be that Metro Finance will need to basically certify or somehow determine that our fund balance is not below the 3% amount. Since these funds during the council budget process, through the budget amendment process, these funds were taken from funds that were allocated to shore up the school district's fund balance, realizing that local revenue has come in better than Metro Finance initially projected. And so it appears that our fund balance is going to be in a better shape than what was initially projected. And so I believe at this point, the only contingency would be timing of when the step increases can be given, and that would be based upon Metro Finance releasing the funds and saying that our fund balance meets that 3% minimum requirement.
Okay.
I want to make a comment before we vote.
Go ahead.
I just want to just take a moment and just acknowledge the $15 an hour minimum. I remember after the custodial privatization, I was in Washington, D.C., worked for SEIU, and the International President Mary Kay Henry and the Vice President Jerry Hudson made a movement of beginning to raise the living wage to $15 an hour. And to be very honest, I was a little skeptical, just because coming off the custodial privatization fight and the priorities of elected officials in the city, that we truly respected and give dignity to those who do really the frontline essential work, and particularly to our most vulnerable population and students. And I just want to just take a moment and just honor the fact that we, the biggest kind of employer of government, of local government here, can finally live up to that promise. Metro government was able to do it initially back in 2016 and finishing up last year in last year's fiscal budget. And now we can uphold that commitment and that moral authority of really giving dignity and respect for people who do the everyday work. When you go into a school, the first person you encounter is a support staff employee. Before you get to the classroom, before you get to the principal's office, you're going to encounter a secretary, bookkeeper, an aide for all the people who work in initial services, who feed our children, know who's hungry when they leave, Friday afternoon, and know they won't get the next meal until Monday morning. Put the work that they do and give them a little bit of ease that, them trying to work 2 jobs to put food on the table, that now we would give them, lessen that burden just a little bit more, that they can save a little more, pay more bills, and really have them answer their true calling by serving our kids and our students on an everyday basis, and the front lines that they do day in and day out. And they've been promised over time through various elected officials on all levels of government. It's not a local or anything, but now that we have time to do it, and knowing that several years ago, looking at people thinking, why would we pay people $15 an hour, thinking that's only, high school students, that should be raising the minimum wage, but realizing there's everyday people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s who do not make a living wage. And that the fact that we as a school board can honor that, and that they can be more present, even more than they are now, be able to educate and to serve our children, and the calling that they have to do that, and the commitment they have to do that year after year, decade after decade. I just say it's a great moment. I just want to mark and just pause and reflect, and saying that given this tough budget situation we were, fiscal raise, that really thank Councilman Mendez, Vice Chair Toombs, the Metro Council members who really took a stretch and really made some really tough decisions in the past month to make this happen. And I just want to thank the council members who voted for it, thank the mayor for being able to pass this budget and enacting this budget into law, and really think that it was a citywide effort, and it wasn't, we had to make some tough decisions to get here, but to be able to show that we truly value the work of the employees, and that value goes into our students. This is directly going to serve our students. These are people who clean up when the kids get sick. They're the ones that clean it up. When kids are upset and had a tough day, they're the ones that they talk to make sure they can get focused to go back into their learning. And so I just want to mark that moment in time, and just thank you for everyone who made this moment possible, that now anybody who works for Metro government, Metro schools can now have a living wage and work $15 an hour, and that we will be able to reach that final milestone. I just want to say thank you to everyone.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second on the table. David, could you do a roll call vote?
Dr. Gentry.
Aye.
Dr. Gentry votes aye. Ms. Elrod.
Aye.
Ms. Elrod votes aye. Ms. Spearing.
Aye.
Spearing votes aye. Ms. Buggs. Ms. Buggs. Ms. Buggs, we'll come back to Ms. Buggs. Ms. Player-Peters.
Aye.
Ms. Player-Peters votes aye. Ms. Pooper-Walker.
Aye.
Ms. Pooper-Walker votes aye. Ms. Frog.
Aye.
Ms. Frog votes aye. Ms. Buggs. We might be having some technical difficulty there. Let's wait just one more second, see if she can unmute. We'll put a present non-vote there. And if I could, Madam Chair, that's 7 ayes, 1 present not voting, and I'm seeing Dr. Battle would like to say something before we close out.
Madam Chair, I just wanted to take an opportunity as the discussion was going around to also acknowledge, and I mentioned it briefly in my opening, a huge thanks to this board who also sacrificed in the budget, making significant cuts to your budget as well, to ensure that we can continue to prioritize our staff and our schools. And I just think that is so commendable, and wanted to make sure that I publicly acknowledge the work of this board to make sure that we had a sound, balanced budget and kept the priorities that were at the forefront, the priorities. So thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you to all board members for your commitment and for doing what was necessary to make sure we had a strong, balanced budget moving into next school year.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Battle. I just had one quick announcement, which is that I'm bringing notice that I intend to bring a resolution to reduce state-mandated standardized testing in light of the pandemic, and I'll be bringing that in an upcoming meeting. Are there any other announcements before we adjourn the meeting? Okay, thank you all for coming to the, for attending the special called meeting today. We appreciate your time, and we will see you all back on July 14th. This meeting is adjourned.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.